Just in, after Buhari's speech at the United Nations General Assembly, he made 6 key demands at the assembly. Here are the response. Hello, my wonderful people. You're all aware that President Muhammadu Buhari has addressed UN. And then while addressing UN, he made some very specific demands that he will see being met. Response has come with regards to those demands. In case you have not heard the full speech of what Buhari says today at UN, please go to Apple Line Media under video and hear for yourself. President Muhammadu Buhari, who was scheduled to address UN, did address UN today. And during the address, he made a demand for 6 key things. And UN is, looking into the issue, and the response to his demands are finally here. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if this is your first time. Let's get all the details. With Nigeria in mind, President Muhammadu Buhari has made 6 major demands from the United Nations at the ongoing 76th United Nations General Assembly in New York, United States. After appreciating some countries, including US, China, India, for donating for the COVID to Nigeria, Buhari made a call of equitable distribution of the vaccines to all countries with a view of combating the pandemic. Nigeria remains grateful for the assistance received from their partners and friends so far. Vaccine is a key, safe equipment for every one of us to have. So please, Nigeria should get this. Despite acknowledging, however, I would like to also reiterate the call for fairness and equality in the distribution of this vaccine. The control of arm proliferation. Buhari also made a call that companies making ammunition should be held responsible as small arms distribution around the country, light weapon, had led to a lot of spread of violence and criminality, devastation to humanitarian and social economic consequences on the continent of Africa. And so companies that produces arms should be brought to accountability on response to how they answer and look into some of these issues. Buhari also called that these companies be held responsible. Debt cancellation. He explained that it was necessary for the United Nations to relieve countries facing financial challenges of their debts. We all know that Nigeria is in serious debt due to Buhari's continuous borrow, and part of the request or demand he made to UN today was that they should consider cancelling debts made incurred by nation during this period, as most nations are struggling. African leaders must be respected constitutionally. Buhari faulted the unconstitutional seize of power play out in some African countries and called on the world to oppose it. He also warned his fellow African leaders to respect their country's constitution, of which Nigerians have since attacked him in that very regard if he does that in his own country. In West Africa, especially our democracy, it is rather in shambles because nobody pays attention to this. Global action to end violence against women and the girl child. Buhari also made a call that this should be priority. Reform on UN Security Council. The president suggests that the United Nations Security Council members should be brought beyond what country exists. The Security Council is responsible for the maintenance of international peace and security, and it has 15 members. No reform of the United Nations system is more urgent than that of the security reform immediately. Buhari also called that this should be looked as this is part and parcel of what could move the nation and move the nations and people forward. Buhari called that this should be paid serious attention immediately. So these are some of the demands that Buhari made today at United Nations, where he addressed, and spoke on the issues on ground. A lot of persons have been looking at, analyzing the speech that Buhari gave, and it's very, very unfortunate that some of these things are happening. You see, one of the things that Nigerians have seriously criticized Buhari about are where he says there should be respect for human rights and some people have violated human rights. And Nigerians are wondering, are you okay? Or, I mean, are you just, do you just want to speak or because it's a speech, well-written speech written for you? Obviously, this is not your idea. You did not even read the speech to know what is going on. Okay, you didn't even read the speech to know what is going on. So if you know exactly what is going on, you will not be speaking in the light of what you are doing right now. So these are part of some of the things going on, and Nigerians are watching, and Nigerians are, asking how we got here in the first place. How did we even get here in the first place? Because some of the things happening clearly shows that, with things that are going on, it's beyond what you can ever imagine. Yes. So people have been waiting for this very speech that Buhari will make, and it sounds very, unrealistic to what Buhari truly represents. Yeah, it sounds very unrealistic to what Buhari truly represents. Buhari is that man who does not even respect fundamental human rights. It pays no attention to any of these things. Yet it's going to UN to ask that fundamental human rights should be respected. And people are wondering, is everything all right? Or are you just deceiving yourself? Because truly, really speaking, Buhari is one of the persons who does not care. Now, again, he's talking about, coup has been happening recently in some of the African nations, that the world should stand against it. Okay, that the world should stand against it. Then he also made mention of cancellation of debt because he knows that he's going to borrow and borrow and he keeps borrowing. And again, he knows the impact of that and what he does. So he wants to quickly borrow. Then you, when we say, okay, Buhari has spoken, we think it's a good thing to cancel the debt. The United Nations will tell the nations, okay, let's forget about it. And they have the way they do it. And the debt is forgotten as if they never borrowed. I mean, who are you deceiving? Who are you deceiving? So these are some of the things going on, and Nigerians have been reacting honestly with regards to his speech. Some have been, I mean, to the far left, and some have been to the far right because they just think that Buhari is being a clown. They just think Buhari is being a clown, that he's not being honest. He talked about fundamental human rights and is the number one person who does not have anything regard for fundamental human rights. You see, please leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. God bless you. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.